Welcome everyone to the Family Feud 5 Fantasy Football Draft Selection Show. This video will show which position in the draft each member of the league will be in. As you can see on our board here, there is slots 1 through 12. Here is our hat with all 12 slips inside. We will be drawing team names at random. Then you'll find out what your draft position is for this coming Sunday, August 26th, for the Family Feud 5 Fantasy Football Draft. With that said, let's get underway and find out who has the first pick in the 2012 Fantasy Draft. I'm going to shake the hat right in front. I'm looking away. Nobody can see anything. I'm shaking the hat, giving it a good shake for the first pick. It's very important. Here we go. I'll draw right in front, looking away. With the first pick in the Family Feud 5 Fantasy Football Draft, it goes to the Westmo City Crazy Bananas, owned by Mark Rundle Jr., has the first pick of the draft. Congratulations, Mark. Got to have a long team name to write on the board. The Westmo City Crazy Bananas, the #1 overall pick in the fantasy draft. Congratulations. Choose wisely. That means you will have the first pick of the first round, but you will have the last pick of the second round. So you'll pick #1 and then number 24. There's advantages and disadvantages to every single pick. The disadvantage is you're going to have to wait a while after you take your first selection. Okay, pick #2 in the Family Feud 5 Fantasy Football Draft goes to, it's a new member of the league. We have 3 of those, so I'll keep you guessing for a second. It goes to the Manliest Wolf Den, owned by Tanner DeWolf. Congratulations, Tanner. You have the second pick. As I said with Mark, choose wisely. The Manliest Wolf Den, the #2 overall pick. Lots of strategy in the fantasy draft. Wonder what position they'll go with first. Make sure everybody checks out all the scoring options and roster options that you have and how you can set up your team and what's worth what points and so on and so forth. Let's find out who has the third pick. The third pick of the Family Feud 5 Fantasy Football Draft goes to the champ is here. That is me with the third pick of the draft. I don't want to hear any complaining. I'm drawing it right in front of the camera. You saw it. I don't want the third pick. I'd rather have the 5th or 6th pick, honestly, because as I said, the top of the draft or the bottom of the draft, you have a long time in between picks. But that's what it is. Third pick goes to me. Well, it's the second year in a row I got the third pick. Wonder who I'll take. The fourth pick of the Family Feud 5 Fantasy Football Draft goes to, oh boy, it's the Carriage House Cox, owned by Lance Nelson. Congratulations, Lance. Get the pick right after and before me. I'm sure that's going to be very interesting for our draft strategies, as we like to talk about it a lot. The Carriage House Cox, #4 pick. Wonder what he'll do with that selection. The 5th pick goes to it is Loose Cannon, owned by Donald Roblicki. We'll have the 5th pick. Donnie's a good player. 3rd year in the league. He's been in the playoffs each of the first 2 seasons. The 6th overall pick goes to the Roaming Blings, owned by Mark Rundle Sr., a new member to the league. It's a good spot to have, the 6th pick, as I said, right in the middle of the draft. You're going to have about equal time in between all of your picks. Okay, we're halfway through. If your name hasn't been called yet, time to get a little worried of where you're going to be in the draft. You don't really want to be at the bottom, that's for sure. Let's find out who's also got a middle pick at number 7. Oh, it is. I'm thinking Arby's. Not the food, the running backs. That's owned by Brandon Simons. Okay. Let's find out who's got the 8th pick. I know you're waiting for your name to be called. Jake, Jason, Zach, my father, and Greg Puccio. You're all waiting. The 8th pick goes to... It really rolled up. Ooh, who's no longer waiting? Can you tell if I hold it backwards? No? Better hold it forwards then. It is Pooch's Powerhouse, owned by Greg Puccio, the 8th pick. I know you guys love seeing the back of my head and watch me right cockeyed. Okay, only 4 to go. Who's in the bottom third of the draft? 4 sheets left. The 9th pick in the Family Feud 5 Fantasy Football Draft goes to the Rome Teabaggers, owned by Zach Brockway. It's funny, I always thought Zach was a fan of coffee, not tea. Oh, that's not what it means? Oh. Okay, 3 left. Jason, Jake, and John. It's all the J's. The 10th pick goes to Papa John. Papa John, the 10th pick. Okay, the 11th pick. You can see him shaking it up. There's 2 sheets left if you want to see it. 1, 2. That's not a sheet if you look at the end. That's the inside of the hat. Okay, the 11th pick goes to Polish Barball Statistic, owned by Jason Skutnik.